Alright everybody, well, welcome to another rendition of me making a video and you watching video at home. We want to take a look at mid-segment. We're going to take a look at mid-segment of a triangle and also one of a trapezoid. Funny thing is that, it's pretty much the same thing. We're basically saying that the mid-segment is half of the distance or the average between the top and the bottom. The difference is in a triangle, the top is a point, and so the distance of that point would be 0. So we only really care about the bottom, but you can use the formula for either. So let's take a look at the first one here. We have our truck triangle. We see that R and C are the midpoints, and we want to solve for x. What's the value of x? We know that RC is half of TK because it is the midpoint of each, so that's your mid-segment. So how we're going to solve this is we're going to say, well, that 2 times 2x plus 4 is equal to 6x minus 8. We take this and we do our distributive property, and we end up with 4x plus 8 is equal to 6x minus 8. As I told you guys before, always move the smaller x to the bigger, because what that'll do is always make sure that your x stays positive. So subtract 4x from both sides. And this guy gives you the additive identity, which is 0. Remember, they don't cancel. That something actually happens. An actual field property takes place. And you end up with 8 is equal to 6 minus 4 is 2x minus 8. Last step that we have, or the second to last step we have to do is we add 8 to both sides. And we end up with 2x is equal to 16. Divide both sides by 2. And x is equal to 8. So pretty simple, nothing really complicated about it. You do need to remember the distributive property, and you do need to remember the additive identity. Other than that, it's pretty much just a basic humdrum algebra. Let's take a look at the trapezoid. Now the trapezoid we have here, once again, mid-segment, midpoint, midpoint, equal, so we have a mid-segment. And we know that this guy is going to be half of these two added together. So what we're going to do is set up the problem the way we normally would. And so we say that 41 is equal to my quantities of TA plus MD, or I'm sorry, MO, because that's Tacoma, because we have our truck and now we have our Tacoma. And that's going to be over 2. So I know that 41 is equal to TA we don't know, so we'll just mark it as a variable. So this time we'll call it B, because everybody uses X and Y, plus 68 over 2. How do we solve this? Well, you have it divided by 2. So multiply everything by 2, and you end up with, right here, we end up with the multiplicative identity, which is 1. Once again, they don't cancel. And we end up with 82 is equal to B plus 68. Last thing we have to do, subtract 68 from both sides. And lo and behold, we find out rather easily that to get from 68 to 82, we have to go 14 spaces. So there is our answer for B. And so that means that TA is 14 units. We can check that if you want, add those two together, divide by 2, you get 41. And that's pretty much how we have to do those. I hope this was helpful. Good luck on your test tomorrow.